and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations. So I'm going to start off by convincing myself that I have Fabian Seh regulars who are probably wondering, how come it started with the theme and everything right off? Where's the preamble? So for this episode, we're not doing any preamble because it really is almost a follow-up to the Bruvs episode. So yes, I decided, having honored the Bruvs by looking at UK male actors in the industry who have blown up, after coming to our attention in the American mainstream, I figured we have to do the Queens. So this is my UK pick list of screen queens that I want to honor and talk about. And so no preamble necessary. And I'm excited because as I was doing the research, the list got longer. I started with like 5, and then I was like, oh, so-and-so. Oh, what about so-and-so? Oh, what about so-and-so? So are you ready? Here we go. Let's see who's first on this list. Sister Cynthia Erivo, the Magnificent. 35 years old. So she's an actress, singer, songwriter. Triple threat. Nigerian parentage. Tony Award winner. So she won the 2016 Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical. And what is that musical? I'm not even going to go in chronological order for this. The Color Purple. And I have to call him name and big him up. Jermaine Rowe, if you watch this, and I hope you do, big up yourself. I love you so much. Jermaine engineered it, so I got to see The Color Purple when I was in New York a couple of years ago with Cynthia in the lead role. Jennifer Hudson had left, so I had the honor and blessing of seeing Heather Headley as Shug, and it was an absolute gift. Cynthia blew me away. It starts to feel almost like it was, I kept saying, this is God. This is God on stage. The production, the energy, the reverence. At the end of it, people were crying, people were sitting down. It was really an amazing experience. And Cynthia was everything. Vocally, she's tiny physically, but vocally, she's a beast. And I'm so happy and excited because guess what? It turns out that in addition to this stellar voice, she really is, in my opinion, quite a fine actress. So what does it? She's had 25 acting credits or acting roles. She was in Chewing Gum. So she was in Michaela Cole's Chewing Gum in 2015 in a couple of episodes. Then she did Widows. So Color Purple was 2016, which was a Broadway musical. Then she did Widows in 2018, and I really liked her role in Widows. So Widows had Viola Davis was in Widows, and it's when these women find out that their husbands are taking advantage of them in some kind of way, and Cynthia is brought in because of her strength and her prowess in breaking into buildings, and I thought she was quite good. She was Harriet Tubman in 2019. And there was a bit of controversy and shade around this. So some people were up in arms that, a British actress was playing an American icon. And also, I didn't hear it or see it, but apparently I hear she had made some comments about Americans and American culture, society, American people. So people were saying they should take the role from her. I'm glad they didn't. I really liked her in the role. I enjoyed her performance. I enjoyed the film as well. She then popped up in a TV thing, The Outsiders, which I believe is a Stephen King book, as Holly Gibney, this really quirky, almost autistic detective. And she was just a treat. I was really additionally impressed because this is some proper character work that she did. Loved her. And would love to see her reprise that role. Most recently, in 2021, she was in Genius, which is one of the 2 major treatments on Aretha Franklin's life. The other one was called Respect with Jennifer Hudson. And guess what? I preferred the one with Cynthia. I found that Jennifer didn't sparkle in the role. And even vocally, I just thought it was like, What I liked with Genius is, again, Cynthia did proper actress work, but they allowed her to stylize Aretha's songs. So she sang them as Cynthia with the Aretha influence. And because she's such an amazing vocalist, for me, it worked. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And like I said, preferred that take on Aretha's story with Cynthia in the role. So between 2022 now and 2025, she has 7 projects in the making. Can you believe it? Busy, busy, busy. So some things are completed but not released yet. There are things that are in pre-production and some things are in post-production. And she's actually filming something right now. And guess what? In September, I think it's September 14th, her first solo album is coming out. It's called Chapter 1, Verse 1. So this is Godisha Cynthia Erivo. Next, Queen Jodie Turner-Smith, and she's, I'm going to say, probably more like a princess because she's relatively new and I'm least familiar with her. She's also 35 years old. She's of Jamaican parentage, interestingly. She's had 25 acting credits to her name so far. She was apparently in a 2013 episode of True Blood, in a repeat appearance as a siren. And I think I vaguely remember her. The biggest role she's had so far was in Queen and Slim, the Lena Waithe film that I really liked. It's different, it's quirky, it's a little artsy, a lot of symbolism, but I really quite. She starred with Daniel Kaluuya, who was in the Bruvs. Look at that. He was Slim and she was Queen, and I really enjoyed her performance. Thought the character was a little annoying and she portrayed that well, and I liked it. I'd recommend, if you haven't seen Queen and Slim, go take a look. She has 4 new projects in the making as we speak. She was also in the film Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. I liked her in that as well. Solid, solid, solid. I find she's also just beautiful and stunning to look at because of this beautiful dark skin. It just pops out of the screen, but she also doing solid actress work to back up that presence. She's in Anne Boleyn, which I haven't watched and probably won't. I have a struggle with you taking a role where somebody, and this is not a role. Anne Boleyn is a real person, a historical figure, one of Henry VIII's wives, and she was white, right? She's a white woman, and you cast a black actress to play her. I'm like, I'm probably more likely to go with that on stage, but for me, there's just something that does not ring true. It's like it's like you take a white woman and cast him as Sojourner Truth or Nanny of the Maroons. I'm like, no, that not gonna work. You can do experimental stuff in theater and stuff, but on film and TV. So I haven't looked at Anne Boleyn. I'm hearing it's pretty good. She's a film that she's in that's about to come out, or it came out already, and I just haven't seen it. After Yang, the trailer looks really interesting. So it looks at a time where people have robots as nannies, as maids, as cooks, as helpers, and the robot apparently dies. And it looks at how it affects the family. It actually looks really interesting. She's in it. Colin Farrell is in it, and the young man, I think his name is Daniel Hin from Umbrella Academy. He plays Yang, the robot. So I'm actually curious. I want to take a look at that. So here's something that's on a side, kind of. So she's married to Joshua Jackson. So remember, I forget the character, Pacey from Dawson's Creek. So she was married before. No, was he married before? I think she was as well, but they're married now. They got married, I think, in 2019. They have a child. When I was doing the research and even looking for pics of her, there are very few pics online of her by herself. Most of them are with her and Joshua. I was like, what is that about? Is it just my search, or is that surprised me? Like, okay. But this is Jodie Turner-Smith. Take a look. I like her, and I'm excited to see about what else she does as her career unfolds. Yes! So before we move on, I just have to draw your attention to the frack. To the frack. Please notice the big bad Jamaican hummingbird onto the back of the frack. This is what she wore to the premiere of No Time to Die, the James Bond film that bust our way we in Jamaica. So a lot of Jamaicans who may not have been familiar with her before I remember James Bond did film a long time and COVID delayed it, and a lot of it was filmed in Jamaica. So she's, as you can figure, is of Jamaican parentage. And this was her homage and head nod for Jamaica at the premiere of No Time to Die. Again, she's 34 years old. I just think she's absolutely stunning. She normally sports short hair. She has thick eyebrows, and I just think, I said, what a beautiful queen. But she also is a serious proper actress. So she was in a 2015 episode of Death in Paradise, which are my beloved Chantal Jackson, and I'm going to say our Jamaica's beloved Chantal Jackson is currently in as a major as a lead. So Lashana was in an episode of that. She was in Captain Marvel in 2019. I think that maybe have been the first film I saw her in, and thoroughly enjoyed her. Then she just dab up No Time to Die, where she's the first female and black 007. So there was a big rumor, and you know debate and queries and skull and cross and bone and all these things, that would she be the next James Bond? Apparently that is not going to be so. That's what some people in the know say, that she's not going to be the next James Bond, but she apparently is the first person to be like a 007, and black woman Jamaican, major things. She's also in Doctor Strange and the multiverse, Madness in the Multiverse, whatever it name, which I need to watch, because I'm just realizing when I was doing the research, I was very confused. I said, I didn't see her in the movie. Then I realized I said, let me watch the first Doctor Strange first, then this new one. So I need to watch the new one because she's in it in a major role as well. She currently has 3 projects in the making. 2 are in pre and post production, and the other else one is The Woman King with Viola Davis. Have you seen the trailer? Yes! I'm here for it. And if you don't know, check it out. The Woman King is the true story of, I think it's a Dahomey tribe that some of the warriors in Black Panther were based on. And the trailer dropped last week, and it is everything. And Lashana is in it, um, with Viola and somebody else who's on this list today. So look at that small world, eh? So Jamaica's own Lashana Lynch, Yegudi, Yegudi. Next, yes, another lovely, lovely, lovely Caribbean. We can't claim her as our own, just us, because she's of Trinidadian and Jamaican heritage. The stunningly talented Naomi Harris. She has not disappointed me in anything I've seen her in. She is 45 years old, and her mother, her Jamaican mother, Lisselle Kayla, is a screenwriter. Sadly, the dad left, I think, before Naomi was born, so she doesn't have any relationship with him, the Trinidadian father. But her mother is actually in the business. And so Naomi got involved in acting and the theater world early in her life. She has 49 acting credits to her name, and that's probably increased by now. The thing that first brought her, I think, to a lot of our radars was years ago in 2002, 28 Days Later. That was one of her first major international films. She was in that. Since then, she's been busy. So I'm just going to list a few things. She's in Dinotopia. She had a role in that from 2002 to 2003. Pirates of the Caribbean is the next thing where she bust away. So she played a character with a Jamaican accent in Pirates of the Caribbean in '06 and '07. I think the character's name was Calypso, if I'm not mistaken. She was in the TV series that's based on the Jamaican writer Andrea Levy's book Small Island, the TV series that was done in the UK. I haven't seen that yet. I hear it's really good. Then she was in what is one of my favorite films of all time. My favorite film of all time is The Color Purple. And this film came out in 2016 and is now on my list of favorite films. Moonlight. She played the dysfunctional, drug addicted mother in Moonlight, and she nyam up the screen. In the few moments she was on, whenever she came on, it was just. And there's a scene where the son, played by Trevante Rhodes, goes back to visit her. Ooh, Naomi does not play. She does not play. So she doesn't, whether it's glamorous or not. I also really liked her in this police film called Black and Blue, where she plays a police officer running and hiding from fellow cops because she witnesses them assassinating an informant who they were taking money from. So she's in it with Tyrese. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm hoping that it did well at the box office. I hope people supported it because it's a solid little film. Then she was in a HBO series called Third Day. Very quirky, very unusual, very strange, but I liked it. She is in it. Jude Law is also in it. I recommend it. It's interesting, strange. Sometimes you're gonna be wondering what is going on. But I liked her. She plays a mother in there who's gone to look for her husband has disappeared in this offshore village in Ireland, I think it is, and she goes to find him with her kids. She was in Venom, Let There Be Carnage in 2021. The film disappointed me. Naomi didn't. I didn't. I thought it was such a disappointment. The film after the first Venom, which I thought was a delight. I really liked the first one. I think they missed the mark with the second one. But Naomi, as one of the villains, I quite liked her performance. But the film for me missed the mark. And then she was also in No Time to Die. She was it Moneypenny? Yeah, so she was in No Time to Die as well, along with Lashana. And the most recent thing that she's in, My Peoples, My Peoples, My Peoples. TV series, season 1 just finished. The Man Who Fell to Earth. She is one of the leads with Chiwetel Ejiofor, who was in the Bruvs. You see the coinky dinkies? There are no accidents. Talent for la talent. It is excellent. It's an exceptional series. The season 1 blew me away. Their performances are on point, and they're as individuals up there, and the chemistry between them, mad. So before season 2 drop, check it out. The Man Who Fell to Earth with Naomi Harris and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Big up yourself, Naomi. Next up, we have Sheila Atoo. Sheila Atoo. Now, again, you see how did that them connect? Sheila Atoo is also going to be in The Woman King. Yes, she is. She's going to be in The Woman King as well. That film with Viola Davis and Lashana Lynch. Now, the first place I witnessed and experienced this woman was in a play. When COVID did just start, a lot of major theater companies that have international standing and YouTube channels and so did free broadcasts of plays. She was in a National Theatre of England's production of Les Blancs, which I believe is written by Lorraine Hansberry. It is one of the best theatre productions I've ever witnessed. I'm so sorry I didn't see it live. And Sheila does not speak a word. She plays like an ancestral character in it that moves and walks from scene to scene. Riveting. And I was like, who is this woman? Who is she? So I looked out for her name in the credits at the end of the play, and I said, oh, Sheila Atoo. Let me tell you, people, next level. I don't think it's still up because I think some of those free COVID things, National Theatre, they eventually took down off their YouTube site. But check it out if you find it, Les Blancs. Because like I missed the musical version of Small Island. They also did the National Theatre. And the week it was on for free, I missed it. I tuned in like the night after it ended. So since then, so Sheila, again, interestingly, has a really impressive history in the UK in theatre, long before she bust on our radar in this part of the world. So she's a playwright and an actress. She actually made her professional debut in 2013 in something called The Lightning Child that she co-wrote with her acting teacher at the time. As I said, she was in Les Blancs, 22 acting credits to her name. Les Blancs was in 2020. She was in Bruvs with Halle Berry, Halle Berry's film, which I really liked as well, enjoyed. I was not disappointed. I said, do your thing, Halle. Nice directorial debut, nice role, an unglamorous role, and Sheila has a major role in it. She's somebody who ends up helping Halle's character train. So she's in that. Then I saw her in The Irregulars. And my producer, Michael Sean Harris, I think we both watched the Irregulars. She had a role in that, and she was again. You can't take your eye off her. She commands the screen and your attention. Then she was in The Underground Railroad, directed by Barry Jenkins, who I'd love to interview on Fabian Seh. Barry Jenkins directed Moonlight. She plays a major character, like she plays the main character's mother in the Underground Railroad. And folks, Underground Railroad is not an easy watch. It really isn't, but it is worth a look. And again, Sheila, Miss Atim, lights up the screen. She's Ugandan born, as a matter of fact. So she was born in Uganda. Again, sadly, family split because the mother decided she was going to go to UK to look live and think. The father decided to stay in Uganda and never join them. So she currently doesn't have a relationship with her dad. But they moved to the UK and love theater from the get-go. She's also in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. So I'm looking forward to when I watch it to see her in that as well. And she's going to be in Pinocchio, which is coming out. I think it's in post-production now. And like I mentioned, she's going to be in The Woman King. This is somebody, watch out for her. I think she's going to light you up and do amazing things. Ugandan-born UK queen, Sheila Atoo. Next, Tanaya Miller. Let me tell you something. You know, some people, you see them in one or two things and they completely pull you in and take your attention. This lady, this queen right here is one of them. She was in The Haunting of Bly Manor, which came out after the Hill House. Yeah, man. So that not series, or that collection. So Hill House was first, and Hill House was, I loved it. She's in the second one, which is The Haunting of Bly Manor, and for me, she completely steals the show. She steals the show, and I was like, who is this woman? I have to find out who she be. I have to find out her name. Completely taken with her since then. Um, 36 credits, acting credits in her history. She was in, again, Death in Paradise in 2017. She was in a short film called Nine Nights, Jamaican. Um, and it annoyed me. The production annoyed me. I thought there were actors that were weak. She, for me, was one of the strongest, if not the strongest performer in that film. Nine Nights. It's a short film. I think it's online. You should be able to see it. Then Haunting of Bly Manor in 2020. Then in 2021, she turned up in a TV series that should be coming back with a season 2, Foundation. And Foundation is this lush, engaging, kind of complex TV thing, very futuristic. And she was in a few episodes and again did not disappoint. You know, just brought her A game as she always does. Loved her in it. She had a pop-up role. I think she was in maybe 2 or 3 episodes of Sex Education in 2020. That riotous English show that one of the Bruvs, Shruti Gatwa, was in. So she's now also has things that are either just about to be completed, new projects. She's in something called Fall of the House of Usher, that's in post-production. And Daylight Rules is completed. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. I'm also really proud of her and excited. She's an out queer actor, and she talks about, you know, so she's done a lot of queer stuff in terms of theater and film as well. Because she was saying, you know, when she was growing up and younger, there were no characters like her that were reflecting back at her. So part of her commitment is to making sure that she's part of production that show this other light and includes diverse characters. So this is Tanaya Miller. Niceness. I'm also eager to see what else she's gonna do. Who is next? Tanya Moody. You know how sometimes you see some people, and this is for me, Viola Davis was like this. I used to see Viola before I knew her name in a few TV things. So she was in a couple of episodes of SVU. I think she played a policewoman in one, and I think maybe Law and Order. She was the other one. I think she was a lawyer in one of them. Like, same thing. Who is this woman? I was like, who is this woman? I was trying to find out who she was. Who was Viola Davis? Tanya Moody is like that. Saw her in a few things. I like this woman. I take life. She'll give me life. I love her. I love the vibe, the energy, what she bringing to the screen. So Tanya is actually 50. Me and her are contemporaries. She's Canadian born but lives in the UK. Interesting thing about her, she speaks French, which she learned when she went to a convent school, and then she learned Swedish on her own. So she's, I guess, trilingual. Good for you. 57 acting credits. She was in Sherlock, the brilliant British Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. I forget the other gentleman's name. Brilliant series. She was in 4 episodes of that between 2010 and 2017. And I remember her from that. Didn't know who she was. She was in Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker in 2019. She was in something called, Motherland. Motherland. And again, I think, again, my producer and co conspirator, Michael Sean Harris, also watches this show called Motherland. She was in 12 episodes of Motherland between 2019 and 2021. Yep, she was also in another show that Michael and I share in common, Discovery of Witches. She was one of the demons. She was a demon in Discovery of Witches. So she was in 13 episodes of that between 2018 and 2022. She's currently in The Man Who Fell from Earth. She plays Naomi Harris's character's best friend in The Man Who Fell from Earth, and she had did the thing. She is currently has a few projects. So a TV show called Belinda is completed, but not aired yet, and Empire of Light is in post production. She's married with one child, and she's a practicing Buddhist. Big up yourself, Miss Moody. I'm excited to see what else she's going to do. And of course, in addition to these things, she's done a bag of other things, including a lot of stage work. Tanya Moody in the house. Screen queen. Yes. Way Newton. Now, when Way busted in my life and in the life of acting and thing, she was Tandy. Thandie. And then she went to what is her actual name a couple of years ago. And here's the interesting story behind that. Her first major film called Flirting, they misspelled her name and dropped out the W. So the film opened and credits and things with Thandie, and she went with it for several years. So she had this epiphany and awakening and decided, you know what? Nope, my name is Tandiwe, and I need you all to spell it correctly and call me that. So she is 49 years old and serious body of work. Same, she has 49 acting credits. Like her age, she's an OBE winner. And OBE is the Order of the British Empire given to individuals who shine and do stellar work and contribute to the English culture, environment, economy, you name it. So she's won that award. Me not even bother go in chronological order because this woman jumped into my chest in Beloved. I don't know if you remember Beloved. Jonathan Demme directed it. It is based on the book by Toni Morrison. Oprah Winfrey was the executive producer, and she also starred in it. Tandy, calling herself Tandy then, played Beloved. She played the child who come back for haunt the mother. And she was just phenomenal. And I kept thinking, how is it that we just have seen this woman? Forgetting that I had seen her in 28 days. But she was just remarkable. And so Beloved was in 1998. So since then, she's done, and before that, she was in an interview with a vampire, and I did not remember in that, which happens to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, vampire film of all time. She was in that in 1994. Then she did Mission Impossible 2 in 2000, and I liked her in that. I also really enjoyed her and enjoyed the film The Truth About Charlie, which she did in 2002. She was in Chronicles of Riddick with Vin Diesel in 2004, and she did Crash the same year. Now, again, folks, if you have not seen Crash, Crash is this really engaging, different kind of independent film. She was in it. I think this is the first time I saw Ludacris acting. Terrence Howard is in it. Really talented cast of how we crash and bump into each other in our lives. And she was in that. So she did those things in the same year. She was in 14 episodes of ER between 2003 and 2009. Then she jumped in on my chest again in For Colored Girls Only. Now, I'm not going to make this show about Tyler Perry, but I have an issue with a lot of Tyler stuff. Like, I find them a little, like, I don't think Madea works on film. I much prefer to watch Madea in the stage stuff. In the film stuff, it's just sent up and too much. But he did one. I don't think Madea is in this one, and it's called Good Deeds, where he's in it, and Tandy plays a struggling mother. I think she's the office attendant, and she's so good in Good Deeds, which is 2012, and in 2010 for Colored Girls, which I think is the best thing Tyler has done filmically for me. So he worked on the screenplay because the original play is written by Entozaki Shange, and he worked with her on the screenplay and directed it, and I loved it. So Felicia Rashad is in it. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg plays Tandy's mother in For Colored Girls, and Tandy for me almost runs away with the film. I loved her characterization and the work she did. Most recently, she's in the magnificent Westworld. People, again, if you're a TV, movie watching type person, but you also, have patience and love to watch a complex story that you have to follow, Westworld. I think they're now in season 3, and I'm watching it. I'm up to date with season 3. She plays a character called Maeve. Woo, let me tell you. And she says, interestingly, Westworld, this role is her favorite role, and it kind of changed her life. But she said it shifted her into this self-awareness. Because the character, who's a black woman in this world, who comes into self-awareness and autonomy, and she said she was at that place in her life as well. So this role is very significant to her. Check it out. So she's been in this from 2016 to 2022. Westworld. Check it out. Um, she was married for 24 years to Al Parker, but they have separated. And sadly, when I was doing research for this, I wasn't aware of this before. She was supposed to be part of Magic Mike 3, but I gather because of the divorce and all the stress and drama with that, she was behaving strangely on set, so they had to replace her. I gather Salma Hayek replaced her. And so I'm wishing her every good thing, affirming wellness and healing as she takes this journey. Tandiwe Newton, big up yourself. Aye! One me Musaka. Musaku. People. I don't know if one is like me. So I have to admit, I found out later on that I may have glimpsed her in other things. But I just going to say from the get go. Let me start. Let me try and contain myself. Nigerian born. She's 35. Her first name is actually Olowonmi. So, but she dropped the Olo and just go by Wonmi. Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft. She was Ruby. She was in 10 episodes, and this was in 2020. And she just broke away. She busted like a baby kite. Everybody was talking about this melanin toned, just stunningly present fireball of a character named Ruby. People like, who that girl? Yeah. She mashed up the place. Loved her in that role. And then realized later on that, she's done other things. So she was in Black Mirror, an episode. It's interesting. Black Mirror has a lot of black actors have done some big bad bold episodes of Black Mirror that helped put them in a, it brought them to wider attention. So she was in a 2016 episode of Black Mirror. She was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the film, in 2016 as well. She was in Luther in 2019. So that's what I said, oh, that's why she looked familiar. She plays a detective in Luther. Luther is this gritty, raw, awesome series that stars Idris Elba as Luther. And I think he's now executive producer. I think they're about to do another season. So she was in a season in 2019. In 2016, she was also in Batman versus Superman. His House in 2020. If you like horror, but not, but horror, spook, sci-fi, spirit in a house kind of thing, His House is an interesting watch. I really enjoyed her performance. I forget the gentleman who plays opposite her. And she actually won, she got a BAFTA nomination. BAFTA is a Black Actors Award in the UK. But she was nominated, didn't win, but she won a BIFA Award for Best Lead Actress for His House in 2020. She was in the TV series Loki. Now, I had to stop watching Loki. Loki annoyed me. So I watched 2 or 3 episodes and we couldn't manage. I was really excited to see her in it. I tuned in later, like one of the last episodes, to watch Jonathan Majors, who was in Lovecraft with her. You see the connection? So I tuned in to watch, and Jonathan just mashed up the place in that scene. So this is a lady, Wunmi. She's married. Not much is known about her husband, and I am so looking forward to what we'll see her in next. She's in We Own the City, a TV series that's been released that I haven't seen yet. So that came out this year, and she was in something called June in 2022 as well, which I have not seen. So I'm going to need to look up. And right now, in completion, she's in a film called Alice Darling. So it's not been released yet, but it's been completed. So Wunmi, big up yourself. Looking forward to see what you're going to bring to us next. Who is next? Look here. So notice we've been going in alphabetical order based on first name. But just like Idris, this queen right here deserve and get the right to mash up any alphabetization. Michaela Cole, Michaela Cole, Michaela Cole. And see, I have to have 3 different pictures of her. But can we talk about Michaela Cole? And Michaela has had a short career, but she done the place. She's become a household name, like a mover and shaker in the business from being her authentic self. She's 34 years old. Her full name, I'm going to try not to bite up my tongue and chamba her name. So her actual name is Michaela Uruwaba Boaki Collinson. So she just say Michaela Cole. I guess she don't want people chamba her name like I may have just done. She's a poet, so she's a poet and performance artist, and had her 2013 debut on stage at the Bush Theatre. 16 acting credits to her name so far, but just luminous. She's one of those people who are just called a luminous talent. So she was in 2 episodes of the 2013 production of Top Boy. She had written a play called Chewing Gum Dreams that looks at her life growing up, with a Ghanaian mother who was very, very religious, Pentecostal type religious, and how she broke away from that. So that's what the play is about. And then she rewrote it, rescripted it as a TV show named Chewing Gum. And this is where she came on my radar. Saints, Chewing Gum is a riotous, sexy, funny, irreverent romp through the life of this character, which is based on Michaela's life. And that was from 2015 to 2017. Chewing Gum. Then she was in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi Master, and that was in 2017. She was in 2 episodes of Black Mirror in 2016 and 2017, and I gather she won an award for her acting in one of those episodes. Then I saw her in something called Black Earth Rising. Whoo! And again, folks, it's a miniseries, a UK miniseries. Check it out. It bad. And Michaela is all up in it. I found it gripping, engaging. Yeah, proper storytelling and deep, deep. So it looks at a refugee, immigrant who's been adopted, and then she finds out aspects of her life and her life story and her history. It bad, it bad. It Talawa and ton up. Black Earth Rising. Check it out. That was in 2018. The most recent devastation that she dashed by we was her production called I May Destroy You. Look at people. That was in 2020. I can't even describe. I can't even describe I May Destroy You to you. Lies. I can't. I can give you a really basic cliff notes. It is based on Michaela's own survival from rape. So she was raped, she was assaulted, sexually assaulted, and she borrows from her own life experience of surviving and healing from that trauma. Not for the faint of heart. Not an easy watch, but well worth a watch. The last episode, I was disappointed with some things in it, but still well worth a watch. It is unlike anything you've seen before, I guarantee you. And again, interestingly, two of the Bruvs are in it. Amila Mean has a major role in it, and an even more major role, like a lead role, Papa Esidu is also in it. That's where I was introduced to him. Big things. She won an Emmy for I May Destroy You for more outstanding writer. Big up yourself. Now here's to add to the sweetness. She turned down a deal with Netflix for I May Destroy You. Ear all them bright. They would produce it and thing, but she would have no copyright for her own work. So she said, what? And she tried to negotiate a 5% copyright ownership. And them said no, then they whittled it down to 0.5. And then she decided, you know what, Netflix, thank you, but no thanks. Yeah, goody. How them fit take the girl thing and then them own it? She have no copyrights, no legal claim to copyright. They must be crazy. Well, Michaela turned it down, stuck to her gun, so got other supporters, did it independently, and it is truly a gem. It's a gem, like I said, not an easy watch, but yeah, proper work. So with this short career she's had, me have to big her up because the impact she's made and the presence she has, I know, in my landscape. So right now in post-production, wait for it, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Black Panther 2, she's in it. People, worse like how we're brethren Chadwick dead. I think Black Panther 2 is going to bust up the box office even more than Black Panther, the first one, did. So people are going to go, I think, out of homage and love for Chadwick, but also to see who else is in it and where the story going to go. So she's in Black Panther 2, and she's also now in pre-production for a TV series called Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Michaela Cole, big up yourself. So I have to call her name now because when I was done doing the research and prep for this, I realized that I left somebody off the list who I really, really love, Marianne JeanBaptiste. I have to call her name. She never made it into the thing, but she is one of my faves, and she's been around for, I'm going to say, since like 2018. She was in a thing called Secrets and Lies, and that's what I think really blew up her career. She's been in a whole heap of TV shows and movies. She was recently in Boxing Day, the Bruv and Miller Means production. Remember, I told you he wrote a film that he was in. That's the first black romantic comedy in Britain, in UK. She's in it. She plays his mother in it. So I have to say her name, even though she never made this list, because if you got her, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, look her up. So that has been my list of UK screen queens. Big them up, bless them up. Looking forward to seeing what else they do. And of course, just like for the Bruvs, I now have a whole other list of things that I have not seen that I now need to go watch because I want to see what other work some of my favorite people have done. So this has been season 3, episode 10 of Fabian Seh. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, tell your friend them. Pass it on to people. Watch the other seasons. Rewatch things that you like. Post and share and all these good things. This is Fabian Thomas signing off. Bigging up my producer, Michael Sean Harris. As we say, peace, love, blessings. Later we say.